Okay, this is lesson 4.2, mathematical representations and problem solving. We are going to go over the warm-ups, so go ahead and pause the video, do your warm-ups, and then start the video again and check it. Okay, we need to distribute the 5. 5 times m is 5m. 5 times negative 4 is negative 20, equals negative 30. I need to move the negative 20. So I'm going to add 20 to both sides. 5m equals negative 10. Now I divide both sides by 5. M equals negative 2. There's my line at the middle. Okay? All right, again, the 3x is not your distributor because there is a sign in between the 3x and the parentheses. Right there's your sign. So, what number is it that we have behind our negative sign? We have a negative 1. Sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. There. Hopefully they will be resolved now. And they're not. So now I need to distribute my negative 1. So, negative 1 times negative 4 is a positive 4x, so I have 3x. Negative times negative is a positive 4x. That negative sign goes away because the 4 becomes positive. Negative 1 times positive 2 is negative 2. The positive sign goes away because it becomes negative 2 equals 12. 3 and 4 both have x's. They become 7x. We have to combine them. Minus 2 equals 12. They're on the same side of the equal sign. That's why we combine them. Okay, so then I'm going to add 2 to both sides. (7x) equals 14. Then I divide both sides by 7. Remember, the number next to the letter goes on bottom of your fraction. 14 divided by 7, x equals 2. Remember to put the number next to the letter on bottom of your fraction. Okay, Alma saw a dress at Macy's for $79. However, the dress was marked off 25%. How much did she save? We don't want to know how much she spent. We want to know the savings. Blank percent of blank equals blank. What's my percentage? 25. What's my total? 79. What does that equal? Of means multiplication. So 79 times 25% equals $19.75. That means she saved $19.75. Okay? Okay, today, this is extremely easy. Okay? All of these problems are going to follow a certain pattern. All right? And the pattern is so write this down. You're going to have a number with a letter I'm sorry, my writing's a little off. I can use my mouse. A number with a letter plus a number by itself, and that's going to equal your total. Now, we're not going to solve this. We're just going to set up basically a formula. So let's look at this. Domino's charges $7 for a plain large pizza. They charge 75 cents a topping. Write an equation. We're not going to solve anything. We want to write an equation for the cost of the pizza with T toppings. Use C for the cost of the pizza and T for the number of toppings. So, here are our numbers. 7, 75. Here are our letters, C and T. So one of these numbers is going to go with a letter. One of them is just going to be a number, and then it's going to equal our total. Now, what are we using for our total? Use C for the cost of the pizza. So instead of total, I'm going to put C equals. Now, I cross that off. One of my letters is gone. So now all I have are two numbers and one letter. So which number is going to change? Well, here it is. When you walk into Domino's, if you're going to order a large pizza. If you're going to order a large pizza, how much are you going to pay? $7. That is not going to change. If it's a large pizza, it's going to be $7. So I cross off the 7. That's not going to change. What is going to change? The number of toppings. If you get one topping, it's 75 cents. If you get two, it's $1.50. So these two go together. 0.75 T. Ooh, I don't like that T. Looks like a plus sign. So let's change it to look like that. There we go. Okay, that's all we're doing. A number that doesn't change plus a number that will change equals your total. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and do number 2. Look back to number 1 if you need to. And then start the video again and see if you got it right. Okay, a TV repairman charges $30 just to look at your TV. That's the number that isn't going to change. But he also charges $25 an hour. That number will change. If he's there 1 hour, it's 25. If he's there 2 hours, it's 50. Write an equation for the cost of a repair, C. C is your cost of repair. Use H for the number of hours. Okay, this should have been very easy. I'm going to have 25H plus 30 equals C. It's that easy. This is exactly the same. Okay, now, Joe is buying 50 movie tickets for $3 each. If he sells them for $5 a piece, what's going to be his total profit? I want to know how much did he make, okay? So, he buys for 3, sells for 5. Pretty smart guy. It's like this. If you bought a car for $100 and you turn around and sell it for $200, you did not make $200 because you initially had to spend $100 to buy the car. So you only made $100. So let's see how much he spends. 50 tickets, $3 a piece. He spends $150 to purchase the tickets. That's how much he spent to purchase the tickets. He sold them for $5 a piece. So that means after he got done selling them, he collected $250. Well, you have to subtract out the $150 he spent to get the tickets. So what I have is $250 minus $150 equals $100. That is his profit. Okay, so You figure out how much he spent, then you figure out how much he collected by selling them, subtract the two, you have your profit. Liz is going to do the same thing. Let me show you a shortcut. She bought them for $8, correct? She paid $8. She turns around and sells them for $11. So that means 11 minus 8. That means each CD she's making a $3 profit on each CD. How many times is she doing that? 40 times. 40 times 3 is 120. That means she's going to make a $120 profit. That's your answer. Okay? If you want to see it the other way, it would look like this. 40 times 8 is $320. So in order to get the 40 CDs, she had to spend $320. She turns around and sells them for $11 a piece. That means she collects $440. This is what she spent to purchase the items. This is what she collected. So now I take what she collected minus what she spent. I get her profit, $120. Okay? $120 is her profit. This is the same thing. Okay, compound interest. Compound interest formula, simple interest formula. Okay? Okay, this is what all of the letters represent. Go ahead and pause the video and write that down, and then start the video again. Okay. Your bank compounds interest annually. You deposit $500. The rate is 2.5%. How much is in your account after 6 years? The key word here is compounds interest annually. This is going to be the compound interest formula. Okay? So what is the compound interest formula? Compound interest is A equals P times 1 A equals P times 1, the quantity of 1 plus R over N, all raised to the N times T power. So what does P stand for? Principal. What is R? R is your rate. N. N is something that people get confused with. N is the number of times it's compounded per year. T is the N is the number of times it's compounded per year. T is the time in years. So let's look at this. So we have our formula. Oh. Our formula is A. Well, that's not working out too good for me, is it? Our formula is A equals P, which is our principal, times 1 plus R over N. Our rate over the number of times it's compounded annually, all raised to the N times T power. T is the total in years, your total years. So T is going to be 6 years. 6 years will be T. How many times is it compounded annually? Well, your bank compounds interest annually. Annually means 1 time. So your your N equals once. Your R equals, R is your interest rate. Your R equals 2.5. Must remember to put the percent sign on it. Okay. Your T equals 6. And your principal, how much was in your bank to start? $500. So you throw this all into this formula. 500 times 1 plus your rate is 2.5, must have your percent, over n is 1, all raised to the 1 times 6 power. Okay? 2.5% divided by 1. We're just going to break this down and do inside in there first. 2.5% divided by 1 equals 0.025. So 1 plus 0, 0.025 is 1.025. So I have 500 times 1.025, all raised to the 6th power. Okay? So when I go 1.025 and I raise that to the 6th power, I get 1.159 times that by 500. And that gives me 579.84. I'll go 85. Okay, now that seems very confusing. Please come and see me, and I will show you how to put this into my calculator so that on the test, you'll just put it right in. It'll give you the answer, okay? If you understand that, great. If not, come and see me. This is another compound interest. I'm going to leave you to do that on your own. This is a simple interest problem. Simple interest, okay? So this formula is the simple interest formula. I equals PRT. This is much simpler. I equals PRT. So here, I equals PRT. What does I stand for? Let's go back and look. I, oh, we don't have the I here. Huh. I is going to be your interest that is in your account after the time. So I is going to be your answer. We know P is your principal. So I equals, P is my principal. My principal is $350 times my rate, 2.5. Please don't forget to put the percent sign on there. T is my time after 3 years. So the interest that is in my account after 3 years is $350 times 2.5, got to have a percent sign on there, times 3, and that all equals $26.25. I equals $26.25. So $350 in 3 years at 2.5% will earn you $26.25. Okay, this is simple interest also, and that is the end. Okay, if you have any questions, please come and see me. Please come and see me about the compound interest problem so I can explain it to you one-on-one. All right, thanks a lot. I hope everything is going good for you, and have a nice day.